Welcome back to the Babes Talking Business podcast, episode 119, titled This Isn't Goodbye, It's Just... We don't know. We don't know what we're calling this, but we definitely explain it in depth in this episode. So you know what? I'm not even going to explain in this introduction what this episode is about. But what we do want to say to you is that we just love you so much and we're so grateful for you being here, whether you are an OG BTB listener or you've stumbled upon us recently. We love this platform. We love sharing our voice, our mission, our message with you. We love the feedback we continuously get from you, all the love, all the shares. It's honestly been one of the most gorgeous, fulfilling projects having BTB. But there's been an elephant in the room for quite some time, and Lauren and I could not deny it. We could not ignore it anymore. And before the Christmas break of 2025 last year, we sat down and we thought, we've got to do one of two things. And one of those things was going to be a complete pivot and rebrand of this show. And the other option was going to be what we explain in this episode. So I'm not even going to try and explain it in this episode introduction. I am just going to let you listen. But before I let you go, I want to let you know about something that Loz and I have been working really hard on behind the scenes, and it is finally ready for you to grab. It is absolutely free. And it is probably one of the most incredible pieces of work, I'm going to call it an asset, that we've created for our community. And it's called the Financial Wealth Building Bundle. It comes with an array of resources like recommended reads, a guide, a masterclass. It also comes with a 7-part series email. So when you download the free bundle, we actually deliver everything in the bundle to you via email over 7 emails. And we did this consciously because, we've all downloaded a freebie before and downloaded and then never read it, never done anything with it. And it's just sat, as digital dust in the hardware of our computer somewhere. We did not want this to be like that because it is incredibly valuable and can actually change your life. So we decided to piece by piece deliver the aspects of this bundle to you so that it's easily digestible and super easy for you to read and implement. So go ahead to the show notes. You can download that for free. It is everything we know and have implemented ourselves and completely embodied ourselves in the world of wealth creation, whether it's about budgeting and saving or investing and diversifying and creating additional streams of income. We have put everything that we know and we have personally done into this bundle for you to have a little look-see at and kind of like, pick up what you love and leave what you don't, and implement the things that you feel inspired by and take action on the things that you are really excited about doing for yourself to create financial flexibility and freedom for yourself. And over the last 8 years, this has been our lane. This has been our sole true mission and the movement that we've been pioneering. And so, as the title suggests, this isn't goodbye, it's just something else. Listen to the episode for you to understand what is happening in this space. But please do download that freebie because we are just so proud of it. And ultimately, it is the core and the foundation of everything that BTB is about and has been about for the last 8 years. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. Mwah. Welcome back to the BTB potty. Oh my gosh, this is a special one.
This is a really special one.
I feel like we have so much to share in this episode, but let's just start with the title, which is This Isn't Goodbye, It's... ... something else. So let's talk into it. Let's start with the shift that we have been feeling
Which I feel like we were really open and transparent about a few episodes ago when we started the season.
Yeah.
But as the season has kind of come to fruition a little bit more, like something has been really obvious for both of us, and we're like, we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Some backstory too. I feel like we've been navigating the business and the transition to motherhood for the last
4 years.
4 years, forever. And so we've got like a chat on Instagram that's like, did you know how you have that chat with your bestie? It's like these memes you send back and forth. And like, if you had a look at Shani and I's chat, it's just like been for the last 4 years, like funny parenting shit, but also observing other people in business and being like, oh my gosh, she's feeling it too. Oh wow, she's talking about that. Or she's feeling it too. Because conversations, I think, like you said, we have kind of brought to light on the podcast was deciding that we didn't want to do business the same ways that we previously had, leaning into more of the things that we feel called to now as women and as mums and in different seasons of business and life, exploring that, feeling into that. Then also, like, we have been in business together for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Isn't it? And we've had this podcast for 8 years. Like, that's first and foremost, like, I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too. I was looking at statistics the other day and it was like 70-something% of people don't even go past episode 21, I think it was. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I was like, we've well and truly passed that statistic.
8 years of showing up on this podcast, 10 years of doing business together. Like, it's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I remember even in network marketing when we first started, and I don't want to fuck up this stat either, but do you remember that stat where it was like a certain amount of businesses fail and never make it past the 4 years?
Yeah.
I'm like, we've done 10 years. And I think what's been even, I don't know, the conversations that we've been having behind the scenes and sending to our inbox is like watching people who started business at the same time that we did. And even if you look back at some of the guests we had in our show 8 years ago, and I was looking back at, because they're the kind of, you don't compare, but you're in business together and you've seen us all start business, grow business, go through consolidation phases, go through different phases in life. And I look at all these people that started business at the same time we did, and most of them either aren't around anymore, they've pivoted, they've completely evolved, and it's wild to think that we're still here showing up consistently after all this time. And I'm just like, wow.
In the same lane.
In the same lane. There's no shiny object syndrome. Like, we committed, and look what we've been able to build.
Yeah, I think we've always stood by the whole, like, my grass is greener because I water it. Like, that's what I'm really proud of as well. Like, it would have been so easy to quit so many times. Let's not lie. Like, it has not been easy.
No.
In business, in the podcast world, there's been so many times where we've been like, fuck it, let's just throw the towel in. But I think we're both very stubborn in that, you with your Scorpio sun, me with my Aries. We're like, no, let's just try again. Let's get up. Let's keep going.
And I think that's why we've worked so well together too, is because one of us is having a down day or a doubt moment. The other one steps in and is like, no, we'll remind each other of our gifts and remind if it was easy, like everyone would do it. And I think that's the beauty in collaboration in business, is that we've always had each other's backs.
But there has been a shift we cannot deny.
Yes.
And it's funny because I feel like part of that shift for me personally is recently I have not been inspired to be in the same kind of niche that I've been in for a really long time. And I kind of I'm calling it, I've unniched myself out of the business space, and really excited to explore other realms of opportunities. And I know you are too. Not because of anything like burnout or boredom. It just feels like a really good shift. And this podcast is called Babes Talking Business. And what we've done on this podcast for 8 years is talk about business and the things that revolve around that. But the shift in wanting to not be just about business kind of makes it I remember saying to you, this makes it really difficult. If we don't want to be just about business, then what's the podcast going to be about? And we really sat with this for a really long time.
We did. We let the dads look after the kids. We actually went down to the creek and we're like, this is how business meetings should be done. At the creek, in the sun, without the kids.
And we sat there and we spoke about it, and we were like, what's the direction? Where are we going? So maybe let's talk about, and I'll ask you first, what's your direction in your shift? Like, what are you feeling that is really important for you right now in life?
I think first and foremost, it always comes back to values. Like where do you want to spend your time and your energy? And that's always been, especially when you've got young kids, mums, you get it. Your time is very limited. And so the time that I do have, and I don't think people realize we started a podcast and we've spoken about this openly and honestly, like this podcast takes a lot of time,
Money,
energy and money, very little return on that. But we do it because we loved it. We loved the conversations. And I know I even said on the conversation we had with Macro Mike a couple of episodes ago that I was really starting to realize the reason I was loving the podcast still after all these years is because I actually love just high performers. Like I loved, it wasn't so much about the business conversation. It was like, I love getting in these rooms and having these conversations with people who think like that. Like I want to get in their psychology. How come they haven't given up? Where's that resilience come from? Where does that hunger come from? Where does that passion come from? So I love that. And I love that. I know you and I always talk like this, and I think it's important to have people in your circle having these conversations, but we always think about the big picture. We're always like, why are we doing that? What's the intention? Like, what do you want to do long term? And when I think about like, what do I want the next 10 years to look like? If I'm really honest, I want a complete career change. And I knew what I was doing was no longer the area or the space that I wanted to work in, but I did know I wanted to work with high performers. And so if I knew that intuitively, I'm like, with the little time and energy and resources I have right now, why am I spending on a place that no longer is aligned with where I'm going? So it's not to say that I know what's next, although I have said yes to an opportunity where it came about with a high performing team that, to be fair, it was advertised as a full-time role in Sydney. And I was like, no, family comes first. I want to be at home with my babes, and I'm obviously on the Gold Coast. And I sold myself, and they were allowing me to be part of this high-performing team still at home with my babes. I'm not having to sacrifice my values, and I'm getting to work and move towards, I guess, an area that I'm passionate about. So it was more so just like, I don't have all the answers. I actually don't know where this is going. I just know that like both intuitively this no longer felt aligned with what our personal interests were, and it was coming at the expense of my values being time with my family. What about you? What shifted for you? What helped you kind of make this decision?
I am in this I think I shared it on our first episode back this season. Like I'm just in a season of like, I just want to be a mum, and I just want to enjoy the time, and I don't want to wish it away, and I don't want to like regret it when I come like look back. But also I think, you know, Matt and I are in a position, and I'm really grateful, we're in a position where I don't have to work. So if I don't have to work, like Matt and I have had a conversation around like, well, can I use this season right now while we have a little one and we want to expand our family one day soon? Like, can I just not work? And that, like, we're both manifesting generators. And like my sacral yes to that was, that's what I want to do. Like, I feel like motherhood is the most important job you'll ever have in your entire life. And I'm like, I have spent the last 10 years teaching thousands of people and loved it. But I'm being called to teach my little human, like how to be a good human. So that was like the first shift. I was like, oh, that's okay. Yep. Like I can sit with that. And then obviously like the podcast being about business and growth and scaling and hearing stories of inspiring business owners, because I'm in this season of like, I'm just chilling, and, you know, if I launch something or if I create something, it's come out of a like total like inspiring little creative bubble. It's not because I have to or because I need the money or anything. It's like if you see me launch or release anything, sell anything, it's literally because I'm feeling inspired about it in that moment. So with the podcast, I was like, well, I kind of like I have loved and still love having conversations with all the amazing people we've met, but I'd rather be at home with my babe. I don't know. It's such a weird thing to say and such a weird thing to like, yeah, come to terms with. And I think when we both kind of like landed in it, so many weird synchronicities started happening.
So wild. So wild.
So first of all, let me just say, we've obviously had this potty for 8 years and we've never monetized it. This podcast has always been fully self-funded by us. We've got halves in every single expense and cost, and it is not cheap to run a podcast. For those of you who run a potty, you would know.
Especially when you're trying to make sure it's at the quality that you want. Like, I know you can do it at home for less cost, but we have really tried to make sure we deliver on the standard that we set for ourselves and we want to set for other entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I've always said that having a podcast is an incredible investment that you can make into your brand, and we've had so many incredible opportunities. It may not be like direct opportunity through the podcast, but because of the podcast over the last 8 years, we have been able to do so many cool things, like travel the world, speak on stages, write books, mentor thousands of people, literally have time freedom like no one has. Like, it's just like, I really do put the podcast down to all of the incredible things that we've achieved and created in our life. And so when we would invest in the podcast, it would be out of like the love for it, and because we knew and that it was always going to bring incredible opportunities. But the minute we decide that we are going to we don't even know what we're calling this, by the way.
It's not goodbye.
It's not a goodbye. We literally get our first big sponsor email us, or a potential. Well, they were like, we would love to sponsor the podcast. And we're like, we have tried for 8 years to nail a sponsor. And then literally like the week later, we get a cash injection of a couple thousand.
And we're just like, wow, like, where's that been for the last 8 years?
We've never made money on this podcast.
No.
And like all of a sudden we start getting paid. Anywho.
But you had a good point, because it was saying the same thing, like some of those feelings that we're having and some of the things that have also been leading the conversation or the decisions that we've made was and I know you've been feeling it too, because we've said this so many times over the last year, like part of motherhood has made us want to kind of like disappear and go offline. So I'm like, I just don't want to. We've been online for 10 years, and I think we forget there's a whole world outside of the online space.
Yeah.
And especially in our businesses, I feel like a big part of our business is actually spent marketing. And for you, and you're creative, like it's your zone of genius, creating pretty shit. For me, I fucking hate it. And so I'm like, I'm sick of spending time marketing. Like, I actually want to be sitting belly to belly, like in organizations with people. Like, I don't want to be online. I want to be supporting high performers, like private coaching, like. So I'm going to get offline. And it was funny because the day I said that, the very next day I've been showing up online for 10 years. I have my very first post go viral, and like over 2.5 million people liked it. I think I got over like nearly 6,000 or 7,000 new followers.
That was crazy.
And so all this is happening in the same week that we've decided to pull not goodbye, the podcast, I don't know what we're calling it, but we decided that we're not going to continue recording at this time.
We're calling it a conscious pause.
Conscious pause.
A conscious pause with no like definitive, like, I don't know where we're going. It's very like we're up in the air.
But it's like we made these decisions, and like you said before, because we're Manny Jan's like it just felt good. There's no logical reason, to be fair. There's not like we're doing a bait and switch, or this is like a planned thing. Like both of us, it just feels like the right thing to do intuitively. But like you said, you're getting your hair done, and the guy said, what did the guy say about all these things that are happening to us now?
Yeah, I was chatting with Tom, my hairdresser, about, you know, we're about to record our last episode, and I was like, how funny, like we got a sponsor and then we got paid for the first time. And he was like, sometimes the universe is so twisted, but it will send little like tests it like your way to really test you to see like, is this what you really want? But also, are you going to do it for the money, or because now it's working and you're getting sponsors and you're getting paid? Or are you going to follow your heart and do what feels right? And I was like, that is really beautiful, because I feel like that was a test.
Yeah.
That was a true, like, I'm just going to make sure.
You sure I can't pay you to stay?
Yeah, and I feel like we passed the universal assignment.
Yeah.
We were like, this is really, like, so grateful for these opportunities, but it just feels right. I can't explain it any other way other than, like, it feels like it's time to close a loop on this beautiful 8-year journey, but not like, it's not definitive in terms of like, it's not forever. Like, we don't know. We might be back. I don't know when.
But in saying that, this, like we said, this isn't like, it's not dramatic. It's not like a bait and switch. It's not like there's something coming, logically, like I said, it actually makes sense for us to keep going because we finally are starting to have some success with it. But yeah, intuitively, sacral, maybe you can talk into like how many gens work, but I just know in my nervous system, when we came back from the beach, I just felt like complete.
Like a
Yeah, I was like that feels like
Yeah.
complete. Like there's no,
Yeah.
I can look back on the last 8 years and be like, I loved that, but I'm excited for what's next. And I think it was really beautiful timing with also, if you follow everyone talking about the year of the snake and the year of the horse, maybe you can talk into astrologically.
Yeah, that's it. We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what's happening in the skies. But like, I know it felt so energetic till the end of last year, like finally just wrapping things up. And I know we kind of, we left this to park and think about it over the Christmas and New Year to really make sure when we came back in the new year, we thought about it individually before coming back together, so it couldn't influence how we both felt. But I really did feel like at the end of last year, like tying up a really beautiful bow and closing up some loose ends and some things. And this year really being like creating that white space to just say yes to new opportunities.
Yeah. Well, not hypothetically, we are still in the year of the snake until mid-February. Actually, when this episode comes out, it'll probably be like the last days of the year of the snake. And we'll be entering the year of the horse, which is really significant, right? Because the snake year is about shedding and releasing and like just letting go what no longer serves you. And I feel like that's what this is. This is just like not like a bad thing. It's just something that we can really like cherish and look at forever and be like, look what we did for 8 years. And maybe we'll be back and maybe it'll be a complete different vibe or maybe not. Who knows? But astrologically, there's a lot happening, particularly this month in February of 2026. Like we have a transit happening. This is really interesting. Let me explain it in layman's terms. So we have Aries, which is the very first zodiac sign of the zodiac calendar, right? So like you think of a calendar year, it's January is the first month. Aries is the first zodiac sign of the calendar year, of the zodiac year, I should say. Now, in February, on February 20th, two of the biggest planets in our solar system, they're called generational planets. And they're called generational planets because they're like, they don't just shift like energy personally or within you. They're outer planets. They shift consciousness, like they shift energy in how people feel as a collective. And two of these really big planets, Neptune and Saturn, are meeting together. They're going to be holding hands. It's called a conjunction. They're going to be conjunct in Aries at 0 degrees. So what this means is like the very first degree of the zodiac wheel. It's like the first degree. These two planets are coming together for the very first time. They say ever. Some astrologers are saying like it's not happened in 9,000 years, but we actually don't have tools to measure the last time these two planets were conjunct at the first degree of the zodiac calendar. So it's like quite significant. It means like fucking new beginnings, man.
New beginnings, man.
Like this shit has not ever happened before. Maybe 9,000 years ago. No one knows. So like Aries is all about the self. It's self-leadership. It's going first. It's taking action. They say selfish, but I disagree with that connotation. I feel like Aries is very like, I'm the leader, come with me, let's go. Like I'm pioneering a movement. I know what I'm doing. It's very like I-centric, but in a good way, not like in a selfish way.
You still serve others, but it's self-led. Like
it's self-led.
You're not waiting for somebody to lead you. You're intuitive with that.
And then these two really big planets are meeting on the first degree of this archetypes, like saying, let's freaking go. Like, let's do what feels right for me. Like I'm like going to lead myself. And I feel like that's really significant with not only what's happening here with the potty, but I think a lot of women are feeling this. A lot of people in business are feeling like things are shedding, things are coming to a close. Like I have spoken with so many of my clients that I worked with last year, and a lot of them have completely pivoted in their business over the last few months because they're like, yeah, it just didn't feel right anymore. Like I've just completely opened a new company. And that's, I think we need to be open to the fact that, well, this is like a collective consciousness shift. Like everyone is feeling the same.
That's what I was saying. It was so weird. Like I've said yes to an opportunity to work part of this team. And like I've worked for myself for 10 years since I was 22, full time, paying my own bills. So like it feels like such a weird, crazy thing to now go step in and be part of somebody else's company opposed to my own. But like you said, it actually feels so freaking exciting. And I'm like, I can't explain the feeling of like just a whole new beginning. Like this was like a clean slate, and intuitively it just feels right. And I'm like, it's wild, but I do really feel like the clean energetics of last year being like, you know what, this is the year to make moves and aligned moves. And then it just all kind of coincide with like Stevie, my little one, started kindy today. And I'm like, it just feels like a different season of life, even as like season as a mother as well, like having a bit more freedom. Like I've just come out of the postpartum fog, like summer's 10 months now. Our breastfeeding ended this week too. Like there's just,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like there's so much happening, and I'm like, but like it's exciting, but it's just there's so much change, but energetically, and it's not like from a place of having to force anything either. It's all been really
just
natural and exciting, and it's like that the universe is literally just like shifting
shaking it up.
Shaking it all up. Wow.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will feel this, like you can't articulate why these changes need to happen. You just have this deep knowing, this intuitive knowing that like it just feels right, and it just feels like it's like there's no question about it. It's just like it is what it is, and I'm going to follow it.
Well, also, I don't know if this will help if any other women are listening to this and this resonates, because I am a really logical person. Like obviously having a background in psychology, I'm all about the brain. And sometimes like the way that you anticipate or the way that you can handle or predict what's coming next is usually you reflect on what you've previously done or been through, right? And I think about the period where we had massive growth in our business, like when we started something new, none of that was forced. That was coming from like sheer curiosity
and
sheer excitement. And like we didn't have it all planned out. We didn't start a business to be millionaires. We didn't start a business to have massive impact. We literally started because this is fun. This makes sense. Like I want to be around these people. So if you're in a phase where you can feel the energetic shift and it's not making sense, I'd really encourage you to reflect on when was the last time that you felt this, because I bet you some of the best things that you've ever said yes to or have happened, this was a feeling before it. So don't be scared of the unknown. Lean into that as well.
Yeah, and actually Tom, my hairdresser, said it really well. He's like, sometimes you just need to create room for new things to make their way. And I really feel that. Like I really feel like I'm going to miss creating an episode with you every other week. But I'm also so open to receiving like whatever comes in that place, because I know the universe and how it works, and it's just going to like place something there. And who's not to say it'll be together? Like we know we work well together. We know we love working together. We know we have complementary skill sets. You're the brainy one. I'm the woo-woo one, like yin and yang. It's so beautiful. So like who knows what this next chapter brings. It's just, we were having this conversation off the mic the other day, remember, and we were like, just like being okay with the unknown.
Yeah.
Which is so like, I've never not known what the path ahead looks like for the last 10 years. I've always been very structured in that I know where I'm going. I know what my dreams are. I know what my vision looks like. I know there's like baby steps I need to take to get there. And this is like the first time ever I'm like, I'm so leaning into just not knowing what anything looks like from here onwards, just surrendering and like leaning in with curiosity and just being open. I'm so open. It's such a weird feeling, and it's actually quite nice too.
It's exciting. And I know we've both written books on this, and I think this is like the hill that we'll both die on, is that like as long as you continue to make decisions and move in directions that align with your values, like it's going to be okay, because you don't sacrifice what's important. And I think that's kind of what's led us with this decision where we're going to put this on pause or on ice for a little bit, because it just we get to. Any day you get to choose different. Like we've been so big on empowering women to create lives that they love and businesses that they love and getting clear in their values so they don't have to sacrifice things. And I think the fact that we can do this, the fact that we get to decide, it's not out of force, it's just because we can.
Yeah, there's no burnout. There's no lack of joy. There's no riff. Like we haven't had a fight or anything.
There's
it's
no
just
drama.
Like, no.
There's not like I said, it's not like we're going to take this away and then we're going to launch something exciting. Like it's literally just like
that.
You get to choose.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that when we started this podcast, and even when we started our business 10 years ago, I think, I'll have to look back on some of our early episodes so you can take you on a journey and where we started. But if you haven't heard this story, I want to take you back a little time capsule. Shani Shani did a post 10 years ago. This is how a friendship started. If you didn't know, Shani and I actually know each other through business. We weren't friends before business. We became best friends through business, which I think is really cool. And she did a post saying she was looking for people to join her team, like other people who are passionate about health and wellness. A girl that I went to uni with tagged me. We went out caught up for an interview or whatever to join the team. It was like, no, it's not my thing, whatever. Shani pursued a friendship with me, went out for a coffee date, and what we really connected on even then was just a vision. 10 years ago, it was a vision. Like, what if we could really create a space of really empower women? And something we're both passionate about was like getting away from the treatment model of, she was a nurse, I was working in child protection, but getting away from like women that were really suffering and really helping women like empower them to think about what do they want from life. And something that we both were really passionate about was like financial literacy for women. Like we want women to thrive. We want women to feel great. We want them to create lives that they love. We want them to be able to save. We want them to be able to invest. We want them to be able to create like this life where they get to choose things because they have the resources to do that, rather than being backed in a corner and having to do things because they've got no other choice to. And so that's pretty much what's driven us for the last 10 years, and everything that we've done in every stage you've seen us talk on, our books, our podcasts, our businesses. And so I thought it was really fitting that when we were deciding like how we kind of wanted to leave this space, we really were excited to leave you guys with a gift. So if you haven't seen, Shannon and I did a masterclass for our business community, which was all about wealth mastery. Like it was essentially everything that we've learned in the last 10 years in business. From when we first started, like we were both in such different positions when we started businesses. We're in our early 20s. I was a year out of uni working. Like, how long have you been working as a nurse for?
I had been in this, I was like 5 years in and I was so broke. Like I started my business as like a side thing to help pay off my credit card. That was completely maxed out. Like that was so long ago.
That's where we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And like we've learnt so much in business and together around like obviously saving and getting out of debt and putting all your debt together and
paying it off faster.
Creating in bank accounts to do that, learning how to invest in yourself, learning how to slowly start chipping away and then investing in other things once you've paid off the debt, once you've got your savings.
Creating passive income, investing in different things to diversify so you make money in your sleep, all the things.
Like everything, like you see the life that we've lived now, but you don't, like I was gonna say, you don't know where we started, but we've actually really openly documented all of it over the last 10 years. And so we did a masterclass for our business community sharing exactly how we've done that. And so we decided to gift it to everyone and anyone that is in our BTB community. So if you actually, we'll pop it in the show notes, but we've also linked it in the bio at our Instagram. But we want to gift it to you guys too, because like that is essentially our parting gift, being like that's essentially what's driven us for the last 10 years. We want to make sure that we leave you with something that you can go create a life that aligns with your values too, where you have that choice, where you have the financial education, where you can feel financially empowered. And the beautiful thing about the resource we've provided is it meets you no matter where you're at, whether you are where Shen was in debt. I was going to say, I don't know how much debt was. It was a fair bit of debt, wasn't it, back then?
It was 15,000, and for some people, they're like, oh, that's not much. But it was a lot for me. It was a lot of stress. I was living week to week and I was just like getting by with paying the interest on my credit card. Like I wasn't actually getting ahead. So to me, it was a lot. And I mean, looking at $15,000, that's a lot of money.
Especially like when you're like wages as a nurse weren't really covering living expenses, so it's hard to pay that and chip that off when you're not really
100%
got extra like disposable income at the end of the week.
Yeah.
And I was freshly out of uni, so like I had a HECS debt. That was my first full-time job, so I hadn't had this disposable income to be able to save and invest. So that's why we both started.
Yeah, and we've had some really incredible mentors over the year to help guide us. We've also like read heaps of books, which we've recommended all of our favorite books in this guide. On top of that, like a lot of conversations that I'm having with women at the moment is particularly those in startup or women who have been in business for a little while, but they're just not making the income that they either used to or that they hope their business would be making by now. They're like, I need a second stream of income because I literally cannot like survive off what my business is making. And I think there's no shame in that.
And there's honesty in that. I think if you talk to any successful person, most of them built a business or a side income along the side of their job. That's where we all started.
Yeah. So we also created a guide with over 75 ways to create income today. There's fast money ways. We've given so many cool ideas. There's also in that guide some really amazing ways on how to, start to invest into income producing assets. Like there's so many amazing things in that guide. It's 24 pages. Like it's not a big read. You'll smash it in a night. So that comes with the masterclass, which I think is also important because it comes with a lot of statistics and information in regards to why it's important to have a second income if you're not, if you're living week to week right now, and how easy it can be to get yourself out of some really big trouble in the years to come. So, yeah.
It's like that. That's like this, I don't even know, 6th, 7th iteration of that file too. Like that has been condensed and built on over the last 10 years of us in business. And I think like what I love most about it, and we share the stats in the book, and this is what propelled me on my passion for wealth creation, and even why I pursued building a business in the network marketing space originally 10 years ago, is because we share the stats of why it's so important for women in particular to understand finances and start taking an interest in them and actually feel empowered with them. Because if you're trading your time for money and you are putting this in the too hard basket, the reality is you're always going to be trading your time for money. And I'm like, if no one is telling you this, I'm going to tell it to you now. I'm telling it to you straight. If you're trading your time for money, when you stop working, how do you live? Honestly, like not just for retirement, like when you have kids, like the reason that we've been able to share so openly what motherhood has looked like for us is because we've had choices and we've had income coming in through the different ways that we've been able to share in our masterclass and in the booklet. So it's just, I think it's those frank conversations that we are so passionate about. And if you don't have women in your circle having them with you, like we wanted to be those women. We wanted to give you a free resources. Like this is the reality right now. Like we love you, which is why we want to tell it to you straight so you can start making, it might feel like small decisions right now, but those small decisions compound. And I think that's where so many women get stuck in their head and think, oh, it won't make that much of a difference. Maybe I'll just do this in a year. I'll do it like when the kids are a little bit older. But like it's those small decisions daily that compound to make big differences in the choices that you have 5 years from now and 10 years from now.
Yeah. So that is our gift to you with this parting episode. We're super proud of it. I remember when we finished it and I sent it to you and I was like, I'm fucking proud of this document. Like,
it is so sexy. And as always, Shani can take credit for that because she is the creative, sexy genius who does everything visually so beautifully.
I feel like I should just like go get a job with Canva.
Really? That's how
I just love being on Canva. No. Anyway, I wanted to, before we end the episode, I wanted to reflect on some really cool, funny things from the last 8 years of this episode, because it wouldn't be right to finish without laughing at a bit of the most hilarious things. So one of my favorite memories, and we've got a video of it, is our very first episode was recorded. So we were so ahead of the times.
We freaking were.
8 years ago, we were like, let's do a vlogcast.
It was called a vlogcast.
And we wanted to video our podcast. No one was doing that 8 years ago. So anywho, I put like a Facebook post out and I was like, does anyone know where we could record a podcast?
Studios weren't back around back then.
Studios didn't exist. And a girlfriend of mine had a yoga studio which had this really like unique, kind of like a sunroom attached to the yoga room, and in there she had like her little office space, and it was so aesthetically beautiful. And she was like, babe, you can just use my office space. Like I'm only doing yoga classes in the morning and in the afternoon, so you can go, I'll give you the keys, you can record. She was so nice. She didn't even charge us. And we walked in, do you remember? And we were like, this is perfect. I am going to get the video of this.
I'm pretty sure it's up. If you go to our very first, the prelude, what this podcast is about, on the 4th of March, 2018.
Oh.
It is there for you if you want to go and see how much have changed over the last, 6 years?
But the video's in YouTube, YouTube, because Spotify
wouldn't have had that. No.
Yeah. And so first of all, we start recording. And it's a hot box. There's no aircon in there. So we are sweating.
We're sweating. I just remember being so fucking sweaty.
I had sweat dripping down my boobs. And then we both invested in a Sony a6000, which was a really good camera back then. Very expensive. But we were like, no, let's go all in. Let's like get 2 of these. And we didn't know that Sony's back then had like a automatic stop if it'd been recording for more than 25 minutes or something. So halfway through this episode, it went and turned off, but we didn't know because we didn't know what that noise was. So I'm pretty sure only half the episode has a video.
And it took us like, I think even like maybe 3 or 4 episodes to even work out that's what was happening. We thought maybe our camera was broken, but it was happening to both of us. Remember, then it would charge one, then we'd charge the other.
Oh my God. And then, oh my gosh, we had a
mess.
guest and it happened with the guest. And we were like, can you just stop talking for a sec and we're just going to start again?
Seriously though, and you know what though? Not only are we leaving you with the gift of our masterclass and the Wealth Mastery freebie, but this podcast is a gift. It is not going anywhere. It's literally, like I said, it's a time capsule of 8 years in business. And I'm like looking back at some of the things, because like back then when we were recording, I don't know if we were full time yet. I don't think so. I was still working in child protection a few days a week. So like we were still building this. I think you've just left nursing. So like some of these episodes, like we're talking about our very, like even back then we're talking about our money and mindset back then and how we were starting to invest. Even I'm looking at some of these guests that we had back on then, I'm like literally like clocking them. She's not around anymore. She's not around anymore. She's quit. Her business has pivoted. Like time management, if you're somebody who's building a business alongside your job, like we have an episode, I think it's episode 27 on time management and boundaries. Like how we were, like you think, oh yeah, it's easy to say, but like legit, we did work 50, 60 hours a week in our jobs and we were building side business, like we're building pretty successful global businesses alongside that. So you can go back and listen to how we actually did that.
Definitely go back through the archives. Do yourself a favor.
Writing books. And it's one of the questions I get asked all the time is how did you actually write and publish a book? Like we share that. This is an archive of goodies.
Yeah.
So many goodies.
I'm really proud of it. And I don't know where the podcast is going because this isn't like a goodbye and it's not a we're quitting and then this is done forever, but we'll see. We shall see what comes of this.
It's a little pause. It's not it's not an indefinite. It's indefinitely. It's a goodbye indefinitely. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm going to miss the losisms. Do you remember in the very first year you started calling them losisms? There's just things that
you just can't pronounce certain words.
No, my brain works really fast and my mouth just doesn't understand what my brain's saying.
Even, like editing snippets of yours, I'm like, Loz didn't finish that sentence. I can't put that in the snippet because you're like halfway through a sentence and you'll start a new one. I'm like, Lauren, finish talking about what you're talking about, mate.
I remember I always used to think we started a podcast. I'm like, Shani, your voice sounds so sexy and sultry. Then you've got this Lauren the Bogan comes on. So even this podcast was so out of my comfort zone when we started. It still is, but I've just learned to accept this is me.
That's why we love you.
Thank you. But wow, it's weird to think. I don't know when you'll hear us in your ears, but if you want to be the first to know when we decide what's next, and if we do come back, make sure you are on our newsletter. So if you download the masterclass or the freebie that we have linked, you'll be on our newsletter, so we'll be able to let you know. Mm-hmm. Also subscribe to our podcast if you're not already. Make sure you're following on the platform Spotify, Apple, anything else, any other platforms you may be using.
And we're going to leave it with, we are open to whatever opportunities come our way after this episode, so we shall see. And there's no pressure, there's no expectations, there's nothing. It's just a really beautiful closing of a loop, and we'll see what happens.
And thank you to you watching this. Like we said, we've been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like you're just talking to the abyss, and then we get beautiful comments or messages. It makes us realize, people actually value what we have to say and the things that we have to share. So if you've been here for a little bit or you've been here for a long time, we just want to say thank you so much for supporting us, believing in us, cheering us on, being here for the shit show. And we're excited. We're excited for the future, and we're always, as always, our inboxes are open. We really do love seeing other people win. And in the last 10 years, obviously, it's been really about empowering women in business. So that's still a space that we want to rally behind. So if we can ever help, don't hesitate to reach out. But all I love, and I guess this isn't goodbye. It's we'll see you when we see
you. Bye.
Wait, babe, before you go, we have a little gift for you. We know talking about money and building wealth can feel so overwhelming sometimes, so we want to make it easy for you. If you head to the show notes or grab the link in our Instagram bio, you can download our free financial literacy and wealth building masterclass bundle. This is a private recording we held for our business community recently, where we break down exactly how to start building multiple income streams, smart saving strategies, and how to set yourself up financially, even if you are starting from zero. And because we love you, we are also throwing in our 50 plus income producing ideas guide. Yep, you heard that right. Over 50 different ways that you can start creating an income in today's world, including both quick cash ideas and our top 3 residual income streams that can help you make money while you sleep. It's perfect if you've been thinking about starting a side hustle or creating an extra income on the side, but have no idea where to begin. Both of those are completely free, and you can head on over to the show notes or our link in bio on Instagram and click the link to download it today. Lastly, if you're curious about working with either Lauren or Shani, or you just want to have a chat, you can slide into our DMs over on Instagram. It is hands down the best way to reach us. You can find Shani at Shani Peach or Lauren at It's Lauren Kerr. All the links are in the show notes, of course, and make sure you're following the show account at Babes Talking Business for all of the behind the scenes content, bonus tips, and announcements. We genuinely love hearing from you guys. So whether you have a question about today's episode or want to share your wins, or you just need some encouragement on your business journey, make sure you pop into our inbox. Seriously, you can send a message and just say hi. We are real humans on the other side, and we actually reply. So we just want to say thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate you showing up, doing the work, and investing in yourself today. So go ahead and grab those freebies, take action on what resonated with you today, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.